Hello, Pisces. Welcome to the last portion of August 2019. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. Show me your energy, the present. Okay. First card out, you have the Six of Cups. So, Six of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. It's a card of reconciliation. It's a card of family, children, feeling good about your family and your children. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. This could also be somebody coming back from your past, somebody that walked away from you or that you had to walk away from. Let's not read too much into it. Give me some more energy for the sign of Pisces. Okay, that's flying out over there. Lots of Cups energy so far. Now you have the Seven of Cups. 6 to the 7. So 6 to the 7. So this is basically options in regard to the direction that you want to go in, what makes sense for you, what could be behind each door. You know, everything has a potential. Are you seeing the potential with somebody from your past? Are you seeing the potential of what you want to give to them? Is this a situation where you're having to compromise your own life in regard to what would make better sense for your child? What option you pick has a direct effect upon your children? Those are some potentials here. Show me more for the sign of Pisces, please. Show me for Pisces, please. Okay. So we have the Emperor here. Aries energy. The Emperor is somebody who's a leader. They take charge in their life. They are guardians. They want to make sure that everybody is, you know, taken care of. Sometimes they're workaholics, addicted to work. Sometimes it can represent a boss or CEO, banker, somebody who's very higher up in their status. But oftentimes it can talk about somebody who is domineering, stubborn, who gets shit done, but kind of on their terms. He's not in reverse. You know, I let the cards pop out in reverse if they want to. He's upright. It can be somebody taking leadership about a situation, making certain that things go smoothly. Show me more for Pisces. Show me more for Pisces. So the Five of Wands here. The Five of Wands talks about competition. It talks about conflict. It talks about needing to be right, somebody wanting to be in charge. That kind of does go along with this Emperor energy, somebody needing to be the one on top, have the last say. You know, if you've been dealing with somebody like that from their past and they come back, you know, you may be weighing up your options, Pisces, in regard to how you want to go about this, or if you even do want to go about it at all. With the Emperor here as well, this can be somebody who, in their lower levels, like when they act out in negative ways, they can be somebody who can be very cold, domineering. They treat things more like, like a general or a commander would, versus somebody who's trying to be open and warm and engaging with you. There's somebody who like takes control of a situation, or they may have control issues, especially with this Five of Wands. And that makes it very difficult to communicate with somebody when they think that they know everything, or they think that they're right, or they think that they're just, their way is the best way no matter what. Show me more for Pisces. So you have the Seven of Pentacles here. Seven of Pentacles talks about evaluation. It's a time of evaluation. You have two sevens here. You have evaluation in regard to what will bring you happiness, what will be the best decision for you on an emotional level, what's going to fill your life with abundance, happiness, and rejuvenate you, you know? Now we have the Seven of Pentacles, which essentially talks about looking at everything that we have given to so far. Do we wish to continue to give to something? I feel like you have somebody here from the past wanting to come back in. Could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. Now, or Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You have the Pentacles as well. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, whomever it is, I feel that you have the potential for somebody here to come in. I feel that you are weighing up your options, though. I feel that you're evaluating the situation for what it is or what it has been. And if you've been dealing with somebody who's been very domineering, very cold, disconnected, sometimes manipulative, you know, or they just cut you off because they've given the final word and that's it. Well, what kind of relationship is that? It's not a relationship, that's a dictatorship. Show me more for Pisces. Okay. So you have the Eight of Swords in reverse here, Pisces, with the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So the Eight of Swords in reverse is a great card. It's talking about getting out of your head in regard to decision making. Here you have decisions, a lot to choose from, a lot of thought to go into something. Do I want to do this again? What kind of things did I receive in the past? You know, what did I give of myself and what did I get in return? And I'm not talking about like coming from a tit for tat type of mentality, but like literally, what did you give in the past? What was given to you in return, Pisces? What type of treatment? What type of attitude? What type of physical connection? What type of verbal connection, you know? Did these things fill you with feeling good, or were they confusing? Were they painful? Do you want a replay of that? So now we have a card where we are coming out of the mindset of worry, and we're a little bit more efficient in our thought and the way that we process this. For the Ten of Swords to be at the bottom of the deck, this is a finality to the problems in this situation. I don't say that like, oh, it's all going to get better, and if you go back with this person, it's going to be roses and peaches and sunshine and daisies, because y'all know I'm not like that. But also, the Ten of Swords is a completion. It talks about relieving, letting things go. You know, you can have a fair amount of pain, suffering, frustration. If this person has caused this, it's manipulation, it's being stabbed in the back, it's being, you know, mistreated and disregarded to an incredible degree. And it's brought conflict, it's brought internal conflict to you. Sometimes that comes in the form of value, self-worth, you know, do I matter? Like, a lot of these things can bring up some deep-seated problems for us, but it's coming to an end. So let's go ahead and clarify this reading for you, Pisces. Show me the Six of Cups for Pisces. Okay, so you have the Chariot in reverse. Cancer energy. I told you there's a lot of water here. Could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio as well. The Cancer, or the Chariot in reverse, is a card of non-movement. It's a card of imbalance. It's when we are stuck because it just doesn't work. You know, something is not working. The gears are not shifting. Sometimes it literally can mean car trouble. You know, the car is broken. Like, but, you know, with somebody here, again, the Six of Cups being a card of reconciliation, being a card of somebody coming back from your past, this may have been a situation where things were going along to a certain degree and then they stopped. You know, you may have thought that they were going to go into a really positive direction and then they just stopped. And now this person is back to revitalize something. But I think here too, at the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Pentacles. So it's interesting, Pisces, because this card talks about balance. This card talks about balance. Underneath the Two of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands. Under the Knight of Wands, you have Six of Swords. So essentially, this is somebody wanting to come back and communicate what has happened here. Now, I'm just more so concerned that does this person have longevity? Are they still in and out, or do they bring longevity here? Six of Swords talks about moving forward towards something better. It talks about getting out of emotional spaces that have been entirely just exhausting, mental places, emotional. And here we have the Hangman. Okay. The Hangman here is Pisces energy, but it's like somebody who's on the fence, somebody who's taking a pause or has taken a pause, and now they want to communicate whatever it is that they need to say to make this right. This could just be a situation between the two of you. If this isn't somebody that you, If this is somebody that's already currently in your life, there's been a lot of frustration here. There's been a lot of really, really bad energy between you for backstabbing, just ultra manipulative, very domineering energy. And one thing that is connecting the two of you may be children. For some reason, I feel like I said something in this, when we first pulled these out, what did I say? There's something about children, something about making the right decisions for your children, like having to sacrifice your own needs for your children, or the things that you choose have a direct effect on your children. So that also talks about remaining in situations with people that are abusive. You know, if this person is coming back into your life, there's the option to think about that. If they're already in your life, there's the option of thinking about, well, if I maintain this situation, is this going to be helpful and productive for my children? Is this going to be toxic, a toxic environment for my children to be around and grow up in? Even if you put a nice smile on your faces and you pretend that things are golden and peachy, children can read through that stuff, Pisces. They're sponges, emotional, psychic sponges. They pick up on everything, okay? They will know if you're in a bullshit situation because they can feel your heart. Show me the, okay. So for the Seven of Cups, you have the Hermit in reverse, and you have the Four of Cups, or sorry, Four of Swords. So it's essentially an energy where we are, you've done a fair amount of consideration in regard to this situation. You're still taking your time, which is good. There's a fair amount of healing happening here. It also could mean that you have needed to take a large amount of time, and now you're still, yeah, I feel like you're still taking time with this. It's still taking time, like healing from the situation, but I feel like that's going to be kind of the kicker here. It's like you're currently tucked away. And it may be a situation where you haven't had that time to do that with yourself, or you haven't prioritized that, like taking the time for yourself. Like if you're currently in this situation, it's like actively choosing to take time for you and decide upon what you want to have here. If it's somebody coming back from the past, it's a situation that's taken you an incredibly long time to heal from, and you're still in the healing process. Reawakening this may be very difficult for you, Pisces. Show me the Emperor. So for the Emperor, you have two cards. You have the Three of Pentacles and you have the Tower. So you essentially have somebody who is wanting to go forward with you. This is their news. This is what they want. They want to transform things. They want to change things entirely. If this person is not in your life currently, they may be coming back, and it may be quite a shock to you in regard to what it is that they want. It feels like they're, showing you their idea about how things can go. Why we should do this. Would you like to do this again with me? I feel like I'm picking up on two groups. I feel like I'm picking up on a group where you're not in a situation with this person, and then I'm picking up on a group where you are in a situation with this person, and they both have connecting aspects, but they're different. This energy with this Three of Pentacles seems more like the group where we are not currently in the situation, but this person is coming back into our lives, and it's kind of a shock. But I think it's important if you choose to listen to them, it's important for you to absolutely scrutinize with a fine-tuned comb, scrutinize the shit out of it, like what they're offering you. Scrutiny, scrutiny, scrutiny. Is it words? Is it doodles on paper? Like, what are they offering you? Especially if it's coming from the Emperor. The Emperor upright, and he is upright, but I feel that there's been a lot of shady shit with him in the past. The Emperor upright can be a wonderful person, a wonderful human being in how he treats and regards people. Sometimes he can get a little lost in his work or his duties because he's trying to just make sure that everything is, working, and he can be pulled away from family. That's also something to consider here. But I feel like we are working on wanting to create a new plan here for the beginning, or for something new, the beginnings of a new plan for how this is going to play out in the next stages of this situation. If this is a reconciliation, it's what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? You know, but I think here too, Pisces, if you're dealing with somebody like that, you really need to be conscious of how they approach you. Like, in the way that they offer this to you, I think it's also important to watch how they display it to you, how they convey it to you. Is it all their design? Do they ask for your input? What are they asking of you? Are they asking how you feel, what your feelings are? Like, you know, pay attention to how this person is either controlling a situation or not, you know? Show me the 5 of... Okay, so I feel like it's interesting because we just had these cards, and I know we didn't even get to shuffle. They just fell out. I'm going to read them. You have the Knight of Wands here for the 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, the Hangman, and then under that you have the 5 of Pentacles with the 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So in regard to this, Pisces, I wanted to say Scorpio. I don't know if you guys are dealing with a Scorpio or not, but Scorpio keeps like popping up very heavily in my energy here. So with the 5 of Wands here, with the Knight of Wands, like, does this person have longevity? Is this person in and out? Also, the things that they are communicating with you, if this truly is a reconciliation, what is the likelihood of longevity in regard to what they're expressing to you? And how long, if they're playing a charade with you, if they're giving you their best face, how long does that last? How long does that last, Pisces? Because I feel if you're to get back into this, for those of you that are dealing with a reconciliation with somebody, you really want things to change if they're going to change. You know, some of you are changing things just on your own and dealing with that entirely, and this may not even be conducive with what you're dealing with in your own life. You know, somebody coming back, it's like, oh shit, you really fucking hurt me. But guess what? I'm actually closer with myself now because of you. I'm actually feeling stronger in myself because of you. I can move forward in my life because you helped me see a lot of things that didn't work, things that were painful, things that needed to be changed. And now I'm changing them. And that may be why it's taken so long to heal. You know, it may have been a situation where you pined after this person for so long. And now it's like, now you've put that aspect of it away, and now you're actually doing the work on healing from this. Then you have the Hangman with the 5 of Pentacles. So the Hangman is an interesting card. One thing that I'm picking up right now with the Hangman, though, is an energy where you need to allow somebody to share with you all of their information. And by that, I mean really listen to what they're saying. Really, from the deepest depths of you, listen to what they're saying and how they say it. Try not to interject. Try not to make something more of something. Try not to force something to be a certain way. Just listen. Just listen. And don't make anything happen. Just allow them to present to you what it is that they need to do. And if it jives with you, and you know it will, this is a very psychic energy, very deeply internal, you'll know. But if it doesn't jive with you, you'll know what to do. And for those of you that it doesn't jive with, you have the 5 of Pentacles, which is essentially leaving somebody out in the cold. This person may be begging to come back in, but be careful of how they communicate with you. We have the 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck for all of those cards. This talks about leaving. It talks about letting go of situations that we invested a fair amount in and did not turn into the situation that we wanted to. But we have gained a lot of wisdom. We've gained a lot of emotional growth. And it gives us perspective in regard to what we want to go towards in our future. Show me the Seven of Pentacles for Pisces, please. So you have the Sun in reverse for the Seven of Pentacles. The Sun in reverse is not a bad card. It's actually the most positive card in the deck. In reverse, it's a little different. It's, you know, it talks about being clouded, not being certain about what you see in a situation, you know, delays in things that make you feel good, delays overall, things that need to come out into the light still not being exposed. And I think Pisces, there's an energy here where it's like, that's kind of one of the things that are maybe a factor here that you may need to consider. What is being left out? What is being brushed under the rug? What is making this person look too good to be true? Okay? If you smell a rat, you smell a rat. And if somebody's entirely honest with you, you also smell honesty, you know, but I think it's important to not be in the position of seeing everything through rose-colored glasses, you know, especially if you've been in a deep state of healing, because this is initiated healing. This, sometimes the Hermit in reverse can talk about not doing the work because we've been holding on to the idea, the desire to want to be with somebody, and it's taken us so long to get to the point where we're able to actually take our own, you know, change this on ourselves or by ourselves. We actually start doing the work. Sometimes that takes a while to get to, Pisces. You know, give yourself that opportunity if that's where you're at in this situation. Don't jump back into something just because somebody snaps their fingers and shows up and shows you a bunch of, you know, connection and whatever. Like, be careful with that. Here, the Seven of Pentacles, this is a card where we are evaluating, deep evaluation. Does this bring balance to my life? What have I given here? What has been reciprocated to me? Is this something that I can do again? Do I want to? You know, do I want to? At the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarian energy. The King of Swords is somebody who is very, very blunt, very, very logical, very realistic in the way that they deal with things. If you have dealt with something where you're no longer wanting to engage in it, the King of Swords is essentially talking about having no problem with cutting somebody out, with being very, very honest in regard to how you felt, what you experienced, and just letting them go, letting them go. You could also be dealing with an air sign, like I said, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And that may be a situation where they, you know, have not completely told you the truth. Things are still not being communicated here, and you're like on the fence about what to do. I do want to mention here, this is going to be a minute detail, but this King of Swords does not have his sword of truth in his hand. He's reaching for it. He's accepting it. You know, this may be somebody, though, who is not communicating from a space of truth. This also could be you opening yourself up to receiving the truth from somebody, from things that have been kind of kept under wraps. But it's still a sense of evaluation where you need to figure out what the hell you want to do in this situation, Pisces. Show me the Eight of Swords in reverse. So for the Eight of Swords in reverse, you have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So whatever this person communicates to you, it's essentially letting you know that they are apologizing, they're letting down their guards, they're allowing themselves to be vulnerable around you. If this has, yeah. Oof. So a weird thing too, I do want to mention here, the Eight of Swords, yes, it's a card of getting out of your mind, not creating stories anymore, just not worrying about stuff like that anymore. It can also, I do want to mention here, this can also communicate being lied to an extreme level. Somebody lying to you to an extreme level. Now, whether that is happening or not, it's in your mind. It's this progression of thought in your mind, what you want to deal with this person. And for some of you, you may not want to deal with this person at all. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Star, which talks about following your own path, healing your life, your emotions, your heart, your situation, trusting, You know, it talks about divine guidance in your life. It talks about progression, things coming to light. It can talk about stardom and being in the limelight and all of that stuff, being a star, a celebrity, but it can also talk about a fair amount of healing, bringing balance to your life again when things have been out of whack. Can you please give me advice for Pisces? Please give me advice for Pisces. Okay, so you have two cards popping out. They're both in reverse. Interesting. You have the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, and the Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, whomever this is for, it doesn't look like you're going to be going forward with this. This is just an evaluation. This is more like a confirmation reading if you're in the position of not wanting to go back into something and remain healing here. This may be the best decision for you. The Three of Pentacles is not choosing not to work with somebody. You're not in tandem. You don't share the same, desires. You don't have the same drive and direction in regard to wanting to fix something together, wanting to go down the same road together. It's stopping things. It's a halt. It's like, this doesn't work. This doesn't blend. Why are we trying to blend this? Oil and water. What is that? Oil and water. With the Four of Pentacles in reverse, this is essentially, if you've been holding on to this situation for a long time, Pisces, it's talking about letting it go. It's talking about not wanting to maintain this situation any longer because it brings you more hurt. It's just a reminder of the pain that you've experienced here with this person. Why not let that go? Here we have the Four of Cups. This Four of Cups essentially talks about an energy where we are choosing to not engage with somebody. It can be talking about being exhausted by a situation, which essentially gives you the direction to not engage with them anymore because we understand that it's unhealthy. It's a card of choosing to not engage. You're not giving an option. You're not giving an offer. You're not taking an offer. You're not making an offer. You're not accepting an offer. You don't want it. So let's pick a... Which card? Which deck? Which one, Pisces? There's so many. There's so many. I don't want that one. I'm sorry, you guys. You know what? This is the one. Okay. I have to dig it out of its box. I know this is just the Herbal Tarot, the Herb Crafter's Tarot, but it's also very healing when we deal with herbs. Show me energies for as far as like what advice Pisces can get. What advice does Pisces need here in this situation? What advice, please? Show me the advice that Pisces is needing here. So you have the Two of Water and you have the Seven of Fire with the Five of Fire at the bottom of the deck. So Five of Wands. Five of Wands presented over here already. You have the Seven of Wands here and you have the Two of Cups. This is essentially talking about somebody who is tired of dealing with problems, tired of dealing with situations where they're having to be on guard, where you're having to second guess yourself, where you're being spoken over, where you're not being regarded. And it's talking about being upset about it. It's talking about fighting about it, being defensive about it. It can talk about having severe anxiety in regard to being in connection with this person that you may very well love. The Two of Water, the Two of Cups, this is a card of love. It's a card of deep connection. For you to be, for whomever this is for the energy to be so painful where it's like you haven't done the work and now you're actually applying yourself to do the work to heal yourself because it's taken that long. When I say you haven't done the work, I think that time was more spent pining over somebody or being very tethered and connected to somebody that was in a detrimental way to you. They had a detrimental effect on your life. This is recognizing the connection, but also allowing things to disperse. Do you want more conflict? Do you want more disconnection with this person? Do you want to be spoken over? Do you want more manipulation? Stuff like that. Like that's basically what I'm picking up on. I know my readings are not fluffy and happy. They're for your happiness, to get you happiness in the future. They really are. But I'm not gonna kiss your ass with sugar. There's no point in that. So, all right, Pisces. Well, I'm gonna stop this reading here. Is there more? Is there more for Pisces? Show me more for Pisces Nocturna. You have 2 cards. You have Fennec Fox and you have mushrooms. All right. Fennec Fox. Fennec Fox, pioneer, adaptation. The fennec fox is the smallest of all foxes and is found in the deserts of North Africa. In such a harsh environment, these marvelous creatures have evolved large ears which radiate body heat to keep them cool. Their paws are hairy, which act as snowshoes and also provides protection against the searing hot sand. Like other desert animals, they are also able to go a long time without water. These interesting adaptations remind us to always be open to change, even under difficult circumstances. I feel that, Pisces. I feel you're changing here. I feel like you're adapting to a new sense of self, new sense of healing, and a new sense of awareness within yourself. Try not to backtrack if that's what's going on. Mushrooms. Yes, please. I love mushrooms. All kinds of mushrooms. It's been a while. God, like over a decade. Mushrooms, growth in dark times, longevity. Asian cultures associate mushrooms with longevity and strength. Certain edible mushrooms, such as shiitake, are used as herbal remedies have been used as herbal remedies for centuries. Mushrooms grow in the darkest, most unexpected places, in damp soil and rotting wood. Some species, such as morels, grow in places where there were previously fires. Even in difficult time, life finds a way. You know what? That's so funny. I have been, and I don't know why, this past week, and I say it jokingly to people, like when they're complaining, like I'll just say, life finds a way. Like, I haven't read this card in months, but I've been saying, life finds a way. Life finds a way, like a snappy little snarky bitch. And here we go. Life finds a way. And it does. It does. Things have to, you know, especially with this. Some species, such as morels, grow in places where there were previously fires. Even in difficult times, life finds a way. All right, Pisces. I'm going to shut up now. You know, I hope this reading was helpful for you. If it was, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you choose to donate, there's a link in the description box below, and I appreciate you and value your time and consideration in regard to these readings. And if they resonate, then I'm really happy that they do. And if they don't, and it doesn't make any sense, please don't try and make it your reading. My readings are more specific. Like, they're not gonna, my readings are general, but they're more specific general readings, if that can be a thing. You know, and they will resonate with who they're for, but if they're not for you, don't try and make them for you, you know. Okay, I'm going to stop yammering. All right, Pisces, you guys take care. Good luck with everything. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.